Hey mate, if you've requested this video, there's a high likelihood that you are tired, fatigued, you're exhausted, you are lacking some confidence inside of one area or every area of your life, and you want to get that feeling of being youthful back. Maybe rewind the clock 10 years and harden up a little bit in terms of how your body looks, the end result, and some of the habits and self-discipline that you might be lacking now. I want to tell you first of all that it's not your fault. It's not your fault that you found yourself in this position. It's purely and simply an environmental factor. If you look at the last 20 years, dopamine hits are more accessible than ever. So a guy can literally wake up in the morning, open his phone up, check the sports score and get that little bit of hit of dopamine, his favorite team winning a game, open up his favorite Instagram account, go to the OnlyFans, have a wank, get off, and go to the fridge and eat something sweet, all within 5 minutes of waking up. There's really not much effort that goes into getting those dopamine hits anymore, and because of that, because of the accessibility of those feel-good dopamine hits, it's created an environment where, as a man, you don't have to be fit, strong, good-looking, confident, and the bar of manhood is slowly, surely going down. Now, how do we fix this as men who want to keep standards in our lives and showcase that to the next generation? We need to get control of our own shit. We need to get control of our habits, our routines, our rituals, and we need to practice them and practice that discipline. If you look at the greatest men in history, they've all been disciplined, they've all had structure, they've all gone through some hardship, and they've all sharpened the sword going through that hardship and then passed on their lessons. Now, I'm not standing here saying that I've got the highest testosterone level in the world, the lowest dopamine level in the world, and I don't succumb to any of that. In fact, I've succumbed to it all, right? So, addicted to porn, been watching that from a very young age, as soon as I got my hands on the internet, and I'm sure you can probably relate. That's just one example, and that got to a point where it was impacting my relationship as well. So several times too. So over the last few years, I've been working slowly but surely on trying to pull everything together. And one thing that I've really learnt along the way is when you try to change human behavior, you have to do it in a Lego block building kind of way. You can't go and try and just change everything. It's a little bit like building the tallest Lego tower. If you build it up one block at a time, you can get very tall, but it's very easy to knock down. So maybe you've done that in the past where you've stacked all these habits up and you've been on a really good roll, but then all of a sudden it's taken one big blow, work's gotten really tough, the relationship's broken down, the kid's gotten sick, and then bang, that tower's just fallen down from underneath you. When you rebuild again, the logic is to build wider, right? And it takes a few cycles of building wider, going tall, building wider, going tall, and the more you go through that cycle of building wider and going taller, the better. Now, my hope for you is, as I've gone through the journey over the last 16 years of mastering my body, mastering my habits, mastering my binge cycle eating, mastering my thoughts and my mindset, I'm well and truly on the road to feeling like I've got this shit. I come from a background without a strong positive male role model. So doing this without a handbook, doing this without a role model to model has been quite hard. So if you've been there, I want to be that role model for you, and I want to pass on my lessons. My biggest hope from this video is that you're able to not go through as many cycles as I did and fix your shit much quicker. So here's how you do it. The widest base you can build is one built upon physiology, upon the science and the chemical reactions inside of your body, and most specifically, your hormones. Your hormones will dictate what your emotions are, they'll dictate your behavior, they'll dictate how disciplined you are, how consistent you are, all of those things. And the more you can make a ritual out of optimizing your hormones, the far better off you're going to be in terms of having more sex, making more money, and looking like a fucking beast in the gym, like you actually train. So if you've ever trained really hard in the gym and you haven't actually gotten the result that you wanted from it, it's highly likely you haven't optimized your hormones enough. If you've ever hit a slump, not felt confident enough to go out and get new business, to ask for that raise, it's very likely that your physiology is working against you. And if you are fearful of rejection in the bedroom and you haven't had sex with your wife for a week, for a month, there's something physiologically going on chemically in your brain, in your metabolism, that needs fixing and needs more discipline around, more consistent, and a ritual around. So here it is. This is the secret formula. It's the 6-hour method. There's 6 hours in the day that are really key to how your body cycles itself on a hormonal level, on a physiological level. They are the 3 hours before bed and the 3 hours in the morning. And when you think about those 3 hours have two purposes. The first one is to put you in a state of repair. That is to get you from a stressed out state from the day and put you into a state where your body can actually physiologically and mentally, psychologically repair at nighttime. And then the other 3 hours of the day is to actually prepare you for stress. So most men are flipped in reverse, where in the morning they struggle to get up, they struggle to really rise to the occasion and attack the day. And the last 3 other days, well, they're wound up, they can't sleep, right? Because they've got so much going on. To optimize these 2 3-hour periods, we've got to flip it on its head. The first thing is getting that nighttime repair ritual down pat. It's that testosterone boost, it's the hit that really gets things going. You need to optimize what you eat, what you do, your environment. And there are some supplements that you can also take around this time to really get that circadian rhythm back into flow. The other 3 hours, it's the same thing, but we're doing it in reverse. We want to wake ourselves up, stress ourselves out so that we've got a bit of a stress test for the rest of the day, put the right fuel in for the rest of the day, and really get ourselves going so that when it comes to the night time, the next time that we're around that time of the day, we're ready to repair and sleep. And it takes, a good 6 weeks to really embed some habits into your brain, and that's just one of those 3-hour blocks. So it may take 12 weeks to really embed 2 of those 3-hour routines in place. And physiologically, it takes 6 months for every single cell in the body to completely replace itself. So you are a result of what you're doing 6 months ago. So if you start taking action today, then in 6 months' time, you're going to start to be a result of the action that you start taking today. So that's why we need to get that action started as quickly as possible. Now, it's beyond the scope of this video to actually go in to look at exactly what you're eating, exactly what you're doing, what your environment's like, and the supplements that you take morning and nighttime in those 3-hour windows. So I want to offer you an opportunity. These are very limited, and it's for me and you to get on a call and to go over your 6 hours, the crucial 6 hours that help you to turn up and be a man in life. So if you've resonated with any of this video at all and you feel like it's something that makes sense, I want you to reach out and I'll send you a booking link to my calendar. We can sit down, we can have a chat for about 30 minutes. We can look at what's broken inside of your rituals, your routines, and your self-discipline, and prescribe the key starting point. So you'll go away from this call knowing exactly what to work on now. It'll be beyond the scope of the call to actually prescribe you like a 6-month journey, because I don't know how you're going to implement and what you're going to implement it and how it's going to work. I work a lot on biofeedback with my clients, so I want to know what's actually going on when we implement one thing. It's called a scientific approach, and when you do it like that, you're going to be able to really personalize things. If anyone ever says to you they've personalized a diet or an exercise program or a supplement regime to you just with asking a few questions, they're fucking lying, right? So the only way to personalize is to actually go through the process, the method itself, the journey. If on that call it makes sense and there's a good fit, I'll offer you a position. If not, I'll tell you to go away and work on the one thing. But I'm not going to rip money out of your wallet. I'm not going to take it from your pocket. Only if there's a good fit will we ever work together. So I want you to feel comfortable in booking this call and get the help you need, man. I hope this has been a helpful video.